We are Blocstarr Analysts. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna analyze the fuck out of some shit. Without further ado, we got an update on Nolan Wales. We got an update on Karmelo Anthony. We don't have any update yet on Princess Javeayah Harris. We have updates on her yet, but we're keeping up with her story. But so far, we got updates on Nolan Wales and we got updates on Karmelo Anthony. Nolan Wales, young black star athlete out in Mississippi, who took a trip to an island with his three white friends. Um, Body found, ended up coming up missing. Then they found his body, right? Found his body. They found out he was dead, right? Um, and the sheriff, we listened to it yesterday. The sheriff, he was trying to throw it off after they found the dead body, and he said it's gonna take um, a day or so for the coroner to come back with the exact DNA match that it was Nolan Wales, right? But his family already could tell that it was him. The sheriff went on the news and held a press conference and said he don't think that it's any um, foul play that went on. Basically trying to push the narrative the other way, so when they get ready to throw this case out, or when they get ready to bury this homicide case, that they wouldn't have no problem burying it. Y'all come on in, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, so they did that so they wouldn't have any problem burying it. The mother was the mother and father started was 120,000, and in less than an hour they raised 60,000, half of that. But there were some haters on their GoFundMe and everything. There was some haters that were saying, why do they need 120,000 when their son just died? Why do they need 120,000? And I said in the chat last night, I said yesterday in the chat, most likely they're gonna use it towards finding out what really happened to their son. This morning, Big comes out with the news that he is representing, been retained by Nolan Wales' parents to thoroughly investigate the case. Nolan Wales, Nolan with an N, his GoFundMe, the black boy who was on the boat with his three white friends. They said that they didn't know where he was. They thought he caught a ride with someone else when they came back from the island. This is what they told Nolan's parents. We don't know where Nolan is. We think he caught a ride with someone else. But here's his cell phone. They had his cell phone. Now, this is the thing. Ben Crump was hired to do an investigation over the whole case. Public this morning that him and his team would do an investigation over the whole case. They would thoroughly investigate and redo an autopsy and all of that, right? But he also said, when the woman said, she asked him, like, what do you mean by, like, what's making you so confident, or what makes you feel so confident that you can find out if it was any foul play or anything like that. He said, well, Nolan was chilling with a female when they made it to the island. He was chilling with a female, right? Him and his female, they were supposedly just talking. They probably were kissing and some more. You know, they're teenagers, right? Kissing boyfriend and girlfriend and all of that. The girl said that Nolan left after they got finished talking. This white girl said Nolan left after they got finished talking and said that he was going back to the boat. This is what she told the police and the sheriffs. When the sheriffs went and asked the friends, okay, where's Nolan at? Y'all said y'all didn't know where he was. But this girl that he was talking with said that he said he was going back to the boat with you guys. They said, no, he didn't come to the boat with us, right? This is what I said before we get into it. I said, Ben Crump has to question the girl again and ask her because it doesn't sound believable. He has to her and asked her, hey, did Nolan have his cell phone with him when he was with you? Because if Nolan had his cell phone, right, Nolan left her and said, I'm going back to the boat. They said Nolan never came back to the boat. Before he left the boat to hang with her, he said that he was going to hang with her. Like he was telling them, I'm not finna chill at the boat with y'all, I'm finna go hang with her. Right? So, if he had phone with him when he was with the girl and he told her, I'm finna go back to the boat, and now all people are saying he didn't come back to the boat, or if she can verify that Nolan had his phone with him when she then how did the friends get the phone if he didn't come back to the boat and he was supposedly chilling with her? Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. How? Tell me this. If I'm chilling with a I tell my friend, hey bro, I'm finna go chill with Cindy. They're like, all right, man, you always never hang with the guys. We're sick of this shit. So who gives a fuck? Y'all mad because y'all don't get the females, right? So he kick off with the female. What teenager goes to chill? What male teenager, what boy goes to chill with a female so-called girlfriend and don't bring the phone? Don't bring his phone. Who goes to chill with their female and don't bring their phone with them? Chill with her for hours. You mean tell me he don't want to take no pictures with her? He loved doing TikTok dances. He don't want to keep up with his phone. Kids don't leave their phone behind. Tell me how he went to chill with this female, had his phone, told her he was going back to the boat. They say he never made it back to the boat. They don't know where he at, but they gave his mom his phone. How? I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. What's up, Keisha here? That dude is a troll for real. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess they look down on black people. It was no black people around. It was no black people on that island. Yo, I seen the video. Uh, was at a party, right before that island. He was at a party with the white boys. There was a lot of white girls there. And he was doing the TikTok dance. He was like this, doing TikTok dance with the white girl. And she was so excited that he could keep up and do every single move. Because, a lot of the tough young guys, they don't take the time to figure out the dance moves. They just want to be tough. But he's a tough guy and he knows the dance moves. Like he's a star athlete, wide receiver, and he know the dance moves. I mean, that white girl, she was so excited dancing next to him. And notice the one who was holding the camera, the person who was holding the camera that was smiling and moving the camera all crazy, she turned the camera around. She was a white girl. Now, if they could have slowed the image down in the room, not to see the white girls' faces, but to see the white boys. Or white girls who's dancing with him and who's enjoying his company. I bet if you slowed the camera down in that room, you was gonna see a lot of young guys' faces towards Nolan. Because Nolan, his personality seemed to be mesmeric. Like it seemed like he came around and he was the tough guy that took up for everybody, right? He made the other tough guys stop bullying you, right? He come around and he just steal the light, steal the spotlight, steal the show, steal the moment. You know he's a good person. It's how you know. Not because of me, but because of all the white girls that made a statement. All the white girls that made a statement. Now one of them had something bad or negative to say about Nolan. Watch this. Nolan's high school, mostly white high school, they did him a candlelight. They spoke out about it. Even the principal, the teachers, the staff, and the coach wrote a letter to his parents sending their condolences. The coaching staff for the college that he was a freshman, wide receiver freshman on the varsity team, the coaching staff to that college wrote a letter to the public and to his parents and telling us, the public, to pray for Nolan's safe return. He was finna get ready to play in the summer league. NFI, NIF, whatever the fuck it is. NFI, I believe. He was to get ready to play in the summer league. He had ahead of him. Would he take his own life? His dad said he was a star and athlete. Took an interview with Ben Crump when they hired him. Said he was a star and athlete. He knew how to swim and everything. Like, he really was physical when it came to sports. He loved sports. Any sport he put his mind to, he could do. And I told my auntie, she said, Mario, you be on to the people. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, what you talking about now? I said, I'm talking about Nolan Wells. She said, oh, the boy who, this what she said. Oh, the boy who got killed. Now, the news never said that he got killed. My auntie is from the outside looking in. She don't even really know the story, right? She just know what the news done said and put together on the news. With a common sense, and she heard that, and her common sense, she draw a conclusion. My common sense, I draw a conclusion. Your common sense, you draw a conclusion. It's silly that trolls will sit here. Now I'm finna get on the trolls' ass. Yo, subscribe to the channel and comment down below. Now I'm finna get on the trolls' ass. It's so crazy. Now, don't leave, trolls. I see you trying to ease out this bitch. Don't leave. You sit here and you judge all day. You judge all day. You judge from somebody having analytical skills. Do you ever sit? See, this is the thing. The police and the detectives, they go to the same school. What the detectives do to be a detective, a school can't teach them. Detectives do as law enforcement is what teach them. What the police do as law enforcement is what the school teach them. The thing is, the reason why policemen are always getting into it with the public is because they don't know how to react to what the public is dishing out to them, right? The police officer, he's trained to be aggressive, to show he's the big man. But what he's not trained is, you dish out, is gonna come back to you. So the same energy that you put out to somebody that you don't know, especially if it puts any fear in this person, they're gonna put that same hostility back out at you, right? What a detective knows. Reason why they don't have to go to school for this shit is because when they go to school, they test their minds. The teachers, the staff, the deans, the professors, they test their mind to see if they're analytical enough. See, being analytical is not something you learn. Analytics, being analytical, is something that you grow with. It's something that you're born with. Analytical people have it easy through school. Most scholars are analytical because they're able to see something, hear it, and analyze it for themselves. While the dummies sit in class, they able to see it, hear it, but not analyze it for themselves. And they get caught on trying to analyze it the way the teacher is analyzing it. And they don't get it. A lot of people can't understand why. I'm going to tell you why right now. If you're one of those people that can't understand why they see us, I'm finna tell you right now. It's because you're not analytical. Now let's get back to the analytics. I got a troll in her. CCN Sword. CCN Sword. I got a troll. CCN Sword. I don't know what they talking about, but it's a whole bunch of bullshit. But like I said, we finna get back to the story. Ben Crump is on the case for Nolan Wells. Yeah, his family didn't blow the money. They didn't for show the money. They didn't go to the casino and score the money from the GoFundMe. They paid them private investigators that had already investigated, and then they used the rest to retain Ben Crump and Ben Crump's law firm. So now do an autopsy on it, right? And I have the interview that Ben Crump took on news, I believe. No, it was probably ABC News. Okay, I got that interview, so we finna hear it for ourselves. Since I troll CN Sword, don't know what he talking about. Dude, he's agreeing with you. You need to analyze better. He couldn't have been agreeing with me. He disagreed, then agreed, then disagreed, then agreed, then disagreed, then agree. Are you reading all his comments? Clay Biggins 4040, like the 4040 Club. The 4040 Club, look, man. Clay, don't get me started. I treat you like a troll if you are one. Video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to it. Um, okay, so this interview. Let me pull out the tab. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. It ain't no game. Okay, so first I'm gonna give y'all the background. So those of you who don't know the situation of Nolan Wells, don't know who he really is, haven't heard too much of him, or you done heard about him, and you done heard about him through here, so you haven't really heard the news talk about him. On this ABC News, they're gonna give a little background on him. Then we're gonna go into the partial interview that Ben Crump has with the ABC News anchor, saying that he's retaining this case. They're gonna redo the autopsy. Basically, they're gonna bring outside people in, because this is one of the things that Ben Crump said. He said what you have to do is you have to realize that no matter what the situation is, as a black person, because the anchor, she was black, he said you have to realize that this is Mississippi. He said Mississippi is the same place that Emmett Till got hung. You had a little 13-year-old boy. White woman said he was whistling at her. They went and found that little black boy, beat him till he was pumpkin head, then hung him from a tree. And I believe 20 years later, that woman came out and said that he didn't whistle at her at all. So the mom and the dad, being of color, you can see why they don't trust an all-white police force that's telling them that before the autopsy even come back or the coroner even get their son body all the way from the island, they throwing a press conference and they telling everybody to calm down. They don't think it's any foul harm been done. How? Did you examine the body, Sheriff? How do you not believe this? I don't believe it. harm has been done. So we want everybody to come. And I said, listen, I said, just imagine Nolan was a white boy. And all three of those white boys, who we don't know identity yet, see how they kept, their ghost. If Nolan was a white boy and those were three black boys and that white boy came up missing and those three black boys came back to his parents' house and said, hey, we don't know where Nolan is, but here's his cell phone. Those people would call the police. His parents would call the police. They would report this shit. The police would then go pick up all three of them young black boys, each one before knowing anything, just knowing the boy missing. Would go three of them black boys from their homes, take them downtown, process them for questioning. Now, watch this. If the three black boys didn't even do nothing to Nolan as a white boy, right? And they come to find out that the black boys had nothing to do with it. Nolan got drunk, hit his head. When we turned around, we never even noticed he was on the boat. We didn't see him. He must have got on the boat. It was nighttime. We didn't notice him. Right? And they say some shit like that. Before they, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're gonna let y'all go. Still got a charge on their record because they were processed for this. Right? They were processed for this, and it was never this. It was just swept under the rug. Now everywhere them black boys go, they like, man, I can't get a job. They saying there's something on my record. When they folks take them downtown and see what's on their record, they like, damn. He never got charged with that. They like, yeah, he got charged with it. Yeah, but these white boys, you don't disclose their names at all, right? One of them moms is a judge. All three of them get to sit at the house. All three of them haven't been through. They've only been through questioning while they was on the island before the police and the sheriff allowed everyone to leave the island. They questioned everyone. They vetted everyone. You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy part about it. So, thank y'all for the love. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. No, Lil Dipper, Karmelo won't be behind bars for a long time. We got something for y'all from Karmelo. His team, they have filed his appeal. And they have over 200 pages. I told y'all these folk were working. They have filed Karmelo Anthony's appeal, and they have over 200 pages of what they call misconduct, wrongdoing, violating his rights, all of this type shit. And I told y'all, I called it out. I called it out. Noun for noun, verb for verb, pronoun for pronoun, adjective for adjective. I called it out. Everything that they could have went wrong on. Yeah. These 6 attorneys got them documented and typed up 200 pages of shit. And they said they got another attorney just jumped in the crew. So there's 7 attorneys he got right now. All of them at the top. He got the NAACP president. He got the co-founder. The founder of what is it? Texas Wrongful Convictions Association. white guy, Michael Blair. Oh yeah, they got him. Yeah, he there. Yeah, head of his own law firm from Ben Crump law firm. So Ben Crump is still in the Karmelo Anthony case. She's the co-counsel. You know what I'm saying? His lead counsel, I can't remember his name right now. He got so many damn lawyers. Shout out to him for having so many damn lawyers without having to spend a dime. They retained you, nigga, pro bono. So there is some hope for you, young man. Yeah, but they counsel. He's one of the top defense attorneys in Texas. They said he's never lost one. And this is what I was telling people. It was like, Karmelo, it ain't gonna help Karmelo. I said, look, all 6 of these attorneys at the law firms or their law firms, right? I said, these people didn't come to lose. If they take a case, it's only listen, when wins lawyers that win all the time, when they take a case, not you people coming to them offering them a case, but when they sit back and they watching the media and a case is burning a hole into your TVs and your flash screens, they sit up. She called Michael. Where do you see this on the news? Yeah, it's been going for 2 months strong now. After the year of him being on bond, if he deserved 35 years, why would they give him bond for a year before his trial if he was that type of a person? I think we should take the case on. I know we can win. These folks, and then they team up. It's 6 of them. So even if you got his counsel, just say his counsel is the best lawyer out of all 6 of them. He don't need their help, but for him to accept their help, he can't lose at all now. It ain't no chances of him losing at all now, because he's him times 6. It's like 20 versus 1. Who gonna win? 20. Have you ever got jumped by 6 people? Y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel. But answer me this. Riddle me this. Have you ever got jumped by 6 people? And if you have, did you win? Look, man, listen. They not listening. And if you have, did you win when you got jumped by them 6 people? If your answer is no, what do you think finna happen to the DA? Not necessarily jump, but you think one person can beat 6? Jeff Bezos, he's a smart ass motherfucker. He's a genius, right? But he's also a follower. He's a genius because he's a follower that could take someone else was doing the exact same thing, put a different name on it, repackage it, and sell it to Americans and say, hey, I just invented this shit. But really, Walmart invented it first. Sam Walton is the number one distributor around the world, right? Then Jeff Bezos come out with Amazon Prime, same thing. He markets and hires vendors just like Sam Walton did with Walmart. Right? The only difference is the reason why Jeff Bezos was able to be more successful is because the time and day. See, back in the day when Sam Walton started, he started from the bottom. There was no internet like it is today to sell his shit and sell his distribution. He had to go door to door, store to store with the brief. Hey, I'm Sam Walton. I want to come up with a warehouse that distributes your groceries for you with Best Buy's TVs and Ashley Furniture appliances and home furniture. Right? I want to sell everything all in one, just like you're doing. Except I want to do it at a bigger rate, at a bigger amount, a larger amount. Right? So yeah, he's a genius and I gotta give it to him. But he's not a leading genius, he's a following genius. He's someone that can take someone else's shit, make it look better than them, and make you feel like he started it, he invented it, it's from him. It's like the family member that you buy your niece a gift, right? And you say, I can't make it to the party, give this to my niece. And then your brother take the gift you got for your niece, his daughter, and he knows you're not going to be at the party. He couldn't get her nothing. So he unwraps it. Go in the kitchen, get some newspaper, because he give her everything wrapped in newspaper. So he take off your pretty ass wrap and wrap it in newspaper. And he give it to her. Right? And then she reacts like we react when she reacts like y'all react when I tell y'all that Sam Walton did it first. Jeff Bezos is a copycat. It's like, did you get the gift I gave you? What gift? Unc, you didn't give me any gifts. Yeah, I gave you the new little Barbie truck with the Barbie from the movie. She mad at you now, She storm out. You like, what's wrong? Niece, what's wrong? You know my dad gave me that gift. She don't believe you. She don't believe you started this. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. So here go that little background from ABC News on Nolan to let you know pretty much who he is.
An 18-year-old star football player found dead after vanishing during a 4th of July boating trip with friends, as questions swirl about what led up to the teenager's tragic death. What do authorities know about the disappearance and death of college wide receiver Nolan Wells? Here's what you need to know. A 4th of July boating trip turned tragic in Mississippi after college student Nolan Xavier Wells went missing on Horn Island. According to authorities, Wells and a group of friends took a boat out to the island, a popular spot about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, to celebrate the 4th. Though it isn't clear if anything transpired on the island, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said Wells was last seen around 3 p.m., talking to a girl at the north end of the island. According to Ebony magazine, the girl's mother reportedly took to Facebook to confirm that her daughter had been with Wells, but that she didn't have any information on his sudden disappearance. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter told ABC News that Wells's friends eventually left the island to go back home without him, telling the outlet that Wells...
His friends left the island to go back without him. Eventually. Listen, his friends didn't eventually leave the island to go back with him unless it was pitch black dark at night. Cause see, if my friend don't show the fuck back up and he came with me, I invited him out here, guess what? I'm not leaving the fucking island until I hear from him. Till I know where he at. I'm not leaving it. The island ain't that far off the coast. The island ain't that far off the coast. A couple of minutes. A couple of minutes in a speedboat. 10 to 12 minutes max. And that's if you're not speeding in the speedboat. Nolan, he didn't deserve what he got. And I'm saying this from my analyzation of what took place. I've seen this shit in movies. I've seen it in documentaries on America's greed, where it's been situations where some rich friends was jealous of this person or that person, or they wanted to make an example, or they wanted to kill a gay person. Yeah, rich people like doing that type of shit. Right? Not all rich people, but most of them. Okay? So, I done seen it before, right? And anytime somebody leaves with somebody and they go out there on their water and the other person don't come back, usually it be some foul play. It be some shit like a motherfucker got to arguing and this motherfucker pushed this motherfucker and this motherfucker pushed this motherfucker. But this what y'all forgetting. When you standing on the boat, it's like walking around the pool. You know, the flooring that they put around the pool that's real slippery when water touches it. That's how it is on the inside of a boat. So if you get into a tussle, somebody's going to slip and hit they shit or bust some shit. Somebody's going to slip. And I said what I believe happened is from that argument that hasn't yet aired, that they've deleted from their phones, that Ben Crump and his team is gonna discover when they get warrants for these damn phones of the people that said that they recorded the altercation of Nolan arguing with somebody yelling on the boat. Yeah, it was an argument. Nolan had an argument with somebody. That shows where my narrative, that proves the point of my narrative. Someone was jealous of Nolan. That's just like, watch this. If you're a black guy in the chat, you chilling with your black friends, right? You bring your white friend around. Like I got a white friend named Hunter, right? Shout out to Hunter. What's up, bro? Love you. Okay, his name is Hunter Con Ray, right? He just like he got the name that his dad got. His dad got the name that his granddad got. So he's like the third or fourth, just like me. I'm the third, right? Jerry Mitchell the third. Okay, so my white friend, we call him Justin Bieber because he's a pretty boy, right? He looked like Justin Bieber looked before Justin Bieber got on the drugs, right? So all the females like him, whether they white or black. But listen to this. I bring Hunter to the hood, right? I bring him to the hood, like to Castalia, where me and Dolph from, right? Where you seen Dolph shoot the Major video, those projects. Foes on the Mercedes, that's Major. He ain't had no shirt on. Young Dolph ain't had no shirt on, right? He was in the projects, Castalia, out in South Memphis. If I take my white boy out there, Hunter, which I would never do, and you know this for a fact, Hunter, because you didn't ask to go out there, right? If I take my white boy out there, and all the dope boys, we stand around all the dope boys with the money, and you know, now they don't mind they girls too much looking at me because I'm black. And then niggas be talking about my tooth. They be like, oh man, my bitch ain't gonna want him. Look at his tooth. Bitch, my tooth ain't got nothing to do with this. Look at my confidence. The way I talk, the way I dress, the way I walk, nigga. Conversation rule the nation. Right? Fuck around. Okay, they ain't gonna pay too much. Even if the girl's talking about me, even if it's females talking about me. But as soon as a female say something about my white boy Hunter, one of those black females, she can be the single one out the group. 2 or 3 of those black guys out of a group of 10, at least 2 or 3 of those black guys are gonna get jealous and mad at Hunter where they want to beat his ass because they think that he's taking something that belongs to them because they black and the female's black, but these females don't even belong to them, right? So because I've been through situations like that, and then I see Nolan, he's dancing with the females at the party. He's doing a TikTok dance. There's a white girl right next to him. She's so excited. She's laughing. She's throwing her head back, laughing, looking at him. And he's trying to keep the straight face, but you know, he got the little smirk on. He doing it. He got the little smirk on, but he really like, you know, he not really trying to smile or be too happy. Because whoever girl that is that's up in this party, he don't want him to feel that he's trying to take advantage of his girl being drunk and happy that she's around the starting wide receiver to their college football team that done helped them start winning games, getting them some recognition out there in the silk, right? And then the white girl that's sitting in front of him across by the front door, across from the pool table that him and the other white girl standing on the other side of dancing. The white girl that's recording, she fuck around at the end of her recording, she's like, boom, pause, all in the recording. Right? All in the recording, so you can't tell me that it was not one white boy that was in that room that was jealous that he was getting all of this attention from their white girls. And that's how they're gonna look at it. They're gonna be like, I don't give a fuck if Sarah is a hoe. They can't have her. He can't have her. Bro, we gotta fucking do something about him. Bro, your friend Nolan getting too out of hand. That's how they like to talk. Hunter, tell him. Ain't this how y'all like to talk, bro? Hunter will tell me real fucking quick because he know he don't need to He need to play his cards right. I need to play my cards right. When I'm around my niggas in the hood, I need to play my cards right. So if I bring a nigga and say he my nigga, he need to play his cards right too. So he know we ain't trying to get in the hood. We ain't trying to get the fight with nobody, because it don't matter if it look like they're gonna fight you theirself. Damn near everybody that's standing in the vicinity is gonna be on your ass with them. Coming to the hood talking about this rah 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 rah. Man, the folk on. Boy. And y'all know how they get down in Memphis. Me and Hunter from Memphis, so we know how it go. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he real proper with it. Yeah, he talk real proper with it and all this shit. Folks got mad money. And he's my best friend. He's my best friend, but that's just something you don't do. And Nolan was around these white boys the whole time, mesmerizing their girlfriends and they little white females, and didn't even know he was making enemies. He was making enemies right there.
Mosley chose to stay on the Oasis. But as it got dark and there was no sign of Wells, the 18-year-old's mother called to report him missing at around midnight, according to WLOX. The next day, the Coast Guard and Sheriff's Office jumped into action to try and find Wells. At least several other agencies also joined in the search, but authorities were coming up empty.
Look, this is the thing. This is not what you call making up your own story. It's what you call analyzing the story. And let me explain to you, like I probably explained to your ass in the Karmelo Anthony case, which I'm going to do it again. And damn near everything I analyzed in the Karmelo Anthony case is coming true right now. You said his lawyers, them lawyers wasn't going to do nothing. You said he's never getting out. All of this shit is... You said them lawyers won't even be able to appeal. Appeals don't happen that fast. I said, why do you think we got the white guy, Michael Ware, that's the founder of the Wrongful Conviction Association in Texas? Why do you think he's on the team? Because most judges are white. So when we need a speedy trial, Your Honor, where can you call Judge such and such? And guess what? This morning, his appeal was filed. Yeah, 100 pages long about everything that they saw wrong in the trial, everything that the judge did wrong in the trial, the DA did wrong in the trial. And they found out, like I said, Karmelo and his lawyer did not fight for him. He must be friends with the judge and the DA. These 6 lawyers found out that Karmelo Anthony's lawyer made a deal in the back with the DA and the judge, which led Karmelo Anthony to not testify in his trial, which led Karmelo Anthony to the jury not showing him any remorse and giving him 35 years. Because if anybody can explain what really happened, since the witnesses don't want to and no one can really recall, and it happened so fast, it could have been Karmelo Anthony. Yeah, so this is the thing. I told you, I do just like a detective. When a detective comes in a house, detective don't know what happened. But the detective look around, and from the way shit sitting, he say, Okay, they didn't enter in through the front door. They entered in through that back window or the back door. Then they go to the kitchen, right? They say this before they even know. They go to the kitchen and they look at the back door, and it's not broke, it's not unlocked. Then they look at the window, and the window has a a, a piece of glass cut out over the lock, where somebody cut the glass over the lock, reached in, unlocked the window, and entered in through the window. Now, how did he know that they entered in through that window? He didn't. He analyzed it before he knew. He gave himself 30 different scenarios of what it could have been, and then he narrowed them down little by little until he got the answer. Detectives find out the murder before the detectives analyze the murder and figure it was a murder before they find out it's a murder. So that's what we do here. If you read, this is Blocstarr Imis Analytics, not Blocstarr Imis Facts, okay? So we analyze the story. And then as the story unfolds, I come back to your ass like this, and I say, I told you so. I say, I told you so. Because I do. I analyze this shit. That's just like I said. Now listen, this is not me analyzing. This is a part of the story. Ben Crump looked over the affidavits and all the statements. And a white girl gave a statement and said that Nolan Wells was chilling with her, and they were chilling and talking together. And when they got done, he told her he's going back to the boat. Now, this one thing I know. If he was with that girl for a couple of hours, he had his phone with him. But when the detectives questioned the three boys or all of Austin's friends that was on the boat, they all said Austin's never came back to the boat. When Austin left the boat, he said he was going to chill with her for the rest of the day. Right? But when Austin friends left the park, right? When they left the island, Austin friends couldn't find him. They said they left the island, took his phone to his mom and said, "Hey, we couldn't find Nolan. But we thought he probably caught a ride with somebody else." Right? Okay. If Nolan had his phone with him and Nolan showed back up and Nolan didn't go back to the boat, how y'all get his phone? Nolan had his phone with him with the girl, and he told her that he was going back to the boat. But y'all said, no, he didn't come back to the boat. He said that he was going to stay with her. Okay, he said he was going to stay with her and he didn't come back to the boat. Well, then, why did you tell his mom that you don't know where he is? You was looking for him and you thought he probably caught a ride with somebody else. Listen, if he told y'all that he was going with her and staying with her, how was you looking for him? How do you got his cell phone, and how you telling his mom you was looking for him, but he never showed back up, so you thought he caught a ride with somebody else? You contradict yourself. See how they contradicted themselves? But everybody, it's so many parts to the story, and this part just came out. You know what I'm saying? This part just came out like to the public. Detectives already knew. Detectives already knew. What's up, Lala? Yeah, so, I mean, which one is it for the white boys? Because I believe that Nolan showed back up to that boat. He had his phone on him. They got to fighting, they got to arguing. Somebody knocked his ass out or pushed him to where he hit his head, started bleeding out or something, baby. Or he hit his head or he flipped off the boat. They knocked him out and he flipped off the boat, knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That would drown him if he's knocked out when he hit the water. You know what I'm saying? Because before the water wakes him up, his body will have consumed enough water to drown already. So by the time he wakes up, he's drowned underwater. If he just hit his head and flipped back off the boat, or if he hit his head and they flipped him off the boat thinking he was dead because they all drunk. It's analyzation. I'm just analyzing this shit. Because how you gonna tell the detectives that he said he was going to chill with her? He wasn't showing back up to the boat. But then you got his phone and you giving it to his mom, telling her that you waited on him, you looked for him, you couldn't find him, you figured he probably caught a ride with somebody else. Here's his phone. Don't make no sense.
On July 6, authorities got a break in the case. A U.S. Park Service ranger had recovered a body off the northwestern tip of the island. The coroner told WLOX that he had, quote, no reason to believe it wasn't him. The outlet later reported that
they thought the sharks was going to eat his body. Fuck that, man. Don't go in after him. The sharks will eat him. What if he flows back up to the shore? Not enough of them believe that his body will flow back up to the shore. I mean, we see this in murder for hire movies all the time. We see this in CSI Miami movies. Shit like that. CSI Miami show. I watch that motherfucker all the time. A person kill a person out there on the water, on a boat. They throw they body out into the water far enough away from the shore and think the ocean will sink their body before it floats it back to the shore because they too far off from the shore. Now, one thing I know about ocean water moves 5 million different kind of ways at one time. Waves clash. This shit be going like this. From all different ways. The water move all different ways. So when you out there in the ocean and the waves start to get heavier and taller, they doing the same thing they was doing when they was softly doing it. They going like this. So you can't fight against it. It's like when you surfing and you in the middle of that motherfucker. When that wave come down on you, if you don't make it through the tunnel and that wave come down on you, just let it hit you. Take your deep breath. Let it hit you. Let it twist and turn you. And it's going to throw you back up to the top. Don't fight against it because it'll take you down. It'll pull you down. If you fight against the wave when it clash on your ass. A lot of people don't know that. Because they not surfers. They ain't never surfed a day in their life. They ain't never been to a beach. You know how many friends and homies I got here in Memphis, where I'm from, they ain't never been to a beach. I done been to so many different beaches, I can't name them all. From Texas to Florida to California. Not just my uncles, them, Uncle Damien, them that live in Compton. Shout out to Uncle Damien. My Uncle James, them, they lived in San Bernardino, California, the Valley. Yeah, and then I got a friend, my friend from Modern Millionaires Group, Javeayah. Yeah, he stay out there in L.A. Young nigga. We started that digital marketing shit together. You know what I'm saying? Young nigga was able to get his first apartment, move out of his folks' house. Yeah. Been to beaches everywhere. But I got niggas that ain't even been outside the city ever in their life. I'm 35. These niggas 40, 47, 48, 52. All my niggas old heads, really. So I can get wisdom all day. When I hang around them on the block, they ain't on no stupid shit. They sitting up talking about what they own. How many houses they got now. Yeah, while they watching the young niggas shoot up the hood and shit. And crash out. Yeah, I'm sitting with the old head. Yeah. I got niggas ain't never been outside of Memphis. I got some niggas ain't never been out of the part of Memphis that they stay in. I got some niggas that's been in North Memphis they whole life, ain't never went outside of North Memphis. I be talking about what happened in East Memphis. They be like, bro, you know I don't know what you talking about. I ain't even never seen it. Bro, you been out there in Cordova? Where I stay at, out in the suburb, Germantown Parkway, you can take the kids to Incredible Pizza, man. What the fuck is Incredible Pizza? Man, it's one of the mega arcades. The junk that's the size of a Walmart. Super center. You hear me? With the go-kart tracks on the inside of that whole laser tag. And they got the big pizza buffet. That's why it's called Incredible Pizza. You know what I'm saying? Right here in Memphis. The man will be like, bruh, nigga, I ain't finna go out there no Germantown Parkway. Man, them police treat a nigga way different out there. But it's only because he don't know how good it is to be out here. Folks treat a nigga way better out here. Because when you out here, you successful. You got some kind of success. They see you stay in the neighborhood out here, they like, yeah, okay. They see you every day going to the same motherfucking job every day on the same route. They like, yeah, okay. Working honest man. For real.
Body was positively identified through dental records. But what led to Wells's untimely death is still a mystery, and Wells's family is demanding answers. Wells's cause of death has not yet been determined and could take weeks pending autopsy results. However, authorities told ABC News he suspected of drowning as the investigation remains ongoing.
Hey, Anita.
Ledbetter told ABC News that foul play is not suspected in Wells's death.
Yeah,
However,
yeah,
TMZ
check.
reported that law
Y'all say
enforcement
what's
was
up
looking into
to
a viral
Anita.
clip
Anita,
circulating
don't
online,
forget to like
which
the
allegedly
video and
shows several
subscribe
people
to the
having an
channel.
argument near the
We
Horn
want to
Island
keep you here.
shoreline. However, authorities have not confirmed that the footage is authentic or whether the
Y'all just heard that? Ain't nobody got the footage, but you just heard the yelling and shit. Yeah, that was Nolan and somebody else that was arguing on the boat. Somebody recorded it, but they said that the police has not verified if it's true, if it's real. Man, I got to find that footage. If I find that footage, I'm going to do a segment on it. I'm going to do a reaction on it because I haven't seen it. Before I came to y'all, let me see, I got off work at like 10:40. At work, I was goddamn it studying, working on my stories, seeing what I'm gonna talk about, seeing what they came out new, right? When I got home. Before I got home, I stopped and got some Pizza Hut for the kids and my wife, right? I ate a slice. I instantly got to the dining room table and started doing more research. See what's new on all three of the stories, on Nolan Wells, on Karmelo Anthony, and on Javeayah Harris. Javeayah Harris, there's nothing really new on 4-year-old Javeayah Harris except for a update that they still continuing looking for her body, like they haven't given up yet. And we just pray that they find her body. So her family outside of prison can have some kind of closure. Rest in peace to Javeayah Harris. Yeah, I analyzed it. I analyzed the mother's 911 call, right? And we analyzed that on like past tense after we all knew. We analyzed it together. We called it out together after we all knew that they were guilty. Let's go back and listen to this 911 call and see, can we tell that she was lying? We analyzed the dads. Listen. Yeah, go back in the lives because we analyzed the dad. We had the dad's phone call when it first came through before they got arrested the next day. And I said he was lying. Yeah, we analyzed it. We saw how he was stuttering. It's like he's talking around in circles. He doesn't sound like a person that's not guilty. And he sounds like he's trying to protect himself, because when he was over the phone and the man said, the news anchor said, so you guys have no clue what could have happened to her. He said, sir, I was telling the detectives about, since I've been working, there's been people around the house, like my wife, she told me that there be people walking slow and talking slow and stuff beside the house. Sir, it's like they all speaking on the image of her and they don't even know her. He didn't answer the question, and he didn't want to say that he don't know where she at. Sir, I don't, sir, he stuttered all the way through, and he didn't say, I don't know where she is. I said, the detectives is hearing this shit. And I said, another thing, he volunteered some information. He said, I told the detectives that my wife said it be people when I'm at work talking slow beside the house, because it's like a cut that lead behind. I said, this nigga just volunteering information that he don't have to. That's what you call it, true incrimination right there. When you volunteer information that you don't have to, the detectives that's questioning you ask themselves, why would he say that? Why did he say that and we didn't ask him? Why did he lead us over here talking about this if we didn't ask him? Why is he explaining to us how he didn't have nothing to do with the murder if he ain't have nothing to do with it? If he's not guilty of it, why would he explain to us? See, that's why only the silent walks. Because if the police ask you, why were you at such and such at such and such time? Did you kill Javeayah? And you's like, no. And I wasn't even there around that time. I was over there. I was at such and such and such and such. Now, why did you just go in? Look, I'm talking about who killed Javeayah. Why did you, when I just questioned you, why did you just go in? If you didn't do it and you had nothing to do with it, why are you trying to explain to me how you had nothing to do with it, where you was? I asked you a simple question, right? If you don't know nothing about it and you had nothing to do with it, all you got to say to me is, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? That's the only thing you can say that don't incriminate yourself. Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, you won't have to explain yourself. Right? So then he kept on saying, he said the same thing that the mother said on the 911 call. Both of them were trying to get their self away from being considered guilty because they kept on putting it on Javeayah like she was an adult. She's very friendly though. She don't know like stranger danger. Like that's not her. That's not a thing. She don't do. That's not a thing she does. She's nice to everybody. Both of them. The mother said it on the 911 call to the operator that she's nice to everybody. She likes everybody. She thinks everybody's her friend. And then he goes on the interview, and when he's asked to explain Javeayah, oh, yeah, she doesn't know stranger danger. Like, oh, so you're trying to exclude yourself. Like, if she outside, you're trying to make us. Now you're trying. At first, you told us that she was outside and she came up missing. Now you're going through every means to make us believe that somebody got her. Because you're adding in all these extra details that we didn't ask for. Did we ask you? Is she cool with, like, is she against stranger danger, or does she know about it? Does she push stranger danger? She's a fucking child. We don't need to know what you're volunteering to us. Right? And then he said he told the detectives about what his wife said. And if he didn't tell them that, that's a lie. If he didn't. The way he was talking and stuttering and panting over the interview, over phone interview with the news station, it sounds like he was making it up as he goes. So some shit he was adding in. But one thing you can't do is say that after you've been questioned by detectives and police officers and made a statement on your daughter being missed, if you didn't tell them if you didn't say it to them in that statement, don't you dare go online or on TV saying that like just to throw in something and make the conversation more interesting and more off you. Don't you say, I told the detectives that the young nigga put a gun to my head. Right? But when you told the detectives, you said that he put a gun to your back. Right? Because that's what's really happened. But you just trying to boost it up online. Man, detectives finna come pick your ass back up. You lied somewhere. So you could be lying altogether. And then the person that robbed you, that put that gun to your back, just might get out because you fucked up, because you went on on an interview and you didn't say that shit. And they got a whole affidavit that says that you said that the dude put the gun to your back, and that shit is made public. So anybody can go online and pick this affidavit up and say, damn, but this 1090 Jake can go on there and say, damn, this nigga told the detectives they put the gun to the back, but listen to this, y'all. Boom. He's telling the news anchor that the nigga put the gun to the back of his head. That's a fuck up. The next day, the detectives and the sheriffs came and locked their ass up for murder for Javeayah Harris. They figured it out that quick. And then the mother, she confessed.
People seen in it have any connection to the college student. An 18-year-old star football player found dead after vanishing during...
Okay, so now we finna hear what Ben had to say.
Joining us now is attorney Ben Crump, who's representing Nolan Wells' family. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Crump. Just from where you sit, what are the biggest unanswered questions so far about this case?
Obviously, the biggest question is what happened to Nolan Wells. I think the reason this case has caught such fire is because they see the pictures, they see the video, and they're saying, hold on, you're trying to tell us just accept this an accident and sweep it under the rug? His mother, Christine, his father, Elmo, say no, they will not allow that to happen. His friends, his community. I mean, he was a good kid. He was beloved. He was a college athlete. He had everything going for him. So to go on that island for 4th of July celebration and then not to come back,
it's fucked up,
is what is concerning everybody, especially when you hear the contradictions.
And you're conducting your own investigation. How will that differ from what the authorities are doing?
Well, one thing, we're trying to be very transparent because the family has some concerns about the state of Mississippi doing an investigation of the death of a young black man where young white students may be looked at as having some culpability. So the family is concerned about that. So we're going to have an independent autopsy. We have investigators talking to witnesses that have no alignment or no...
Yeah, that mother, she's a demon. That's why I said the mother and the father are demon. They even, they bought out the detectives, they went back to the house yesterday. You know, they stay in a trailer park, Javeayah Harris. That's why it's woods and shit behind them, right? But they went back to the house and they found what looked like a chair leg. That jump was about this long. Looked like a chair leg, about the height of my torso. Looked like a chair leg, or it could have been a dining room. A coffee table leg or an end table leg. And they wrapped it up and put it in the evidence box. So that could have been, I was telling people, I was like, that could be one of the murder weapons. You know what I'm saying? And then they had a lot of towels. They had the Yeti, the big military green Yeti totes that they was filling these motherfuckers up with evidence. Clothes and stuff. Javeayah's clothes. And I think they probably got a piece, an outfit of hers or something that they saw blood residue on for evidence, but I think that they got a couple of pieces of her clothes, more than that, for the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because they out there on the other side and they searching for her body and they haven't came up with it yet. And they believe that it could be on the bank of a body of water because it's like forest, and then it's like water this way, and it's a patch of land, like this swamp land with the tall grass in the middle of the water, and then it's another patch of water on the other side of that grass. So the grass, it's like grasslands. That shit split and water go everywhere. It's swamped out. Her body could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But maybe the dogs can catch a scent or something like that. They bought a lot of bloody sheets and bloody towels and shit out the house. Yeah, they went back and did an investigation themselves. They had 5 unmarked cars. And when I saw shit like that, I was like, and it was people coming up to the house, right? They set a memorial up in front of the house. After people came from the candlelight, most of them brought their candles to their house, set them up in front of the house with balloons, bears, and people was getting off work and shit the same day the detectives was out there. People was getting off work, coming with toys, little Barbies and bears and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A white woman spoke on it. She was like, she said the same thing I said, right? I had said earlier in the podcast, they wasn't there. It's killing her family. Grandparents, uncles, and aunties, because they having to deal with that they wasn't there enough for her while she was here, right? Like she was like, and I'm gonna be here for a while today because I just want Javeayah to know that someone and people care for her, and love her. And I said, yeah, right, but it's too late. She said, even though it's too late, we can still love her, and she can, from earth, and she can see us while she's in heaven, right? Something, she said it was so beautiful. I said, that's right. But she just validated what I said earlier. Like, and I feel for them. My condolences to them. They gotta fight that feeling of every day wondering if they would have called earlier, or if they would have came and got her last Christmas like they said, like they wanted to, but they knew her mother was gonna throw a fit or whatever. That's because she was abusing her and she didn't want anyone to see the marks on the baby. So they just didn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't deal with it at all. And 4-year-old Javeayah Harris lost her life for it. But Nolan's parents, his parents, they dealing with something like that. It's just a different scenario. They dealing with, because everybody, when you close to somebody and you lose somebody that's close to you, even if you're not guilty of their death, you feel guilt. My grandma had a stroke. I was like, man, if I never moved out the house, you know what I'm saying? And she never was living by herself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could have been there. Where when she fell or in the kitchen, I could have caught her. But she wouldn't have really failed at all if I was there, because if the Fabuloso would have started burning on the oven, I would have went in there to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? I let grandma go in there. So we all feel a little guilt sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Um, and my condolences to Nolan's family. I'm just glad that they had enough funds from the where they could be able to not only pay the private detectives that they hired to figure out if there was any harm foul done to Nolan to decease him, and they used most of it to retain Ben Crump as a lawyer because he speaks highly of them, they son, and how he finna break open this case and make sure no crevice goes unchecked.
His friends, his community. I mean, he was a good kid. He was beloved. He was a college athlete. He had everything going for him. And so to go on that island for 4th of July celebration and then not to come back is what is concerning everybody, especially when you hear the contradictions.
And you're conducting your own investigation. How will that differ from what the authorities are doing?
Well, one thing, we're trying to be very transparent because the family has some concerns about the state of Mississippi doing an investigation of the death of a young black man where...
That's why they retain Ben Crump and they own private investigators. The parents have a problem with Mississippi, the state that they live in, being over the investigation of their son's case because they're already trying to throw it off. And the parents know that one of their son's so-called friends' mother is a judge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they was caught in a tough spot. The only way out that motherfucker is Ben Crump. Come on, man.
Young white
or top dog law.
Students may be looked at as having some culpability. So the family is concerned about that. So we're going to have an independent autopsy. We have investigators talking to witnesses that have no alignment or no allegiance to the state. And that's important, Lindsay. When you think about Mississippi and the history of Mississippi, you know, this is the state where Emmett Till was lynched.
You mentioned earlier there are some contradictions.
13-year-old
What
black
gives
boy.
you confidence or perhaps concern about the investigation so far?
Listen, this the part. What gives you confidence about the investigation right now?
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where...
Now, this is the lawyer saying this. This Ben Crump saying this. You have statements. They keep telling the family that it's... See, a lawyer can request all of this shit. The police department has to turn it over to them. They are the law. Just like if a judge requested, police department have to turn it over to him. So he's reading these statements, and he said, how you gonna say it was no harm foul or harm play done when you got statements that there was an altercation on the boat between Nolan and another person? See, watch this. Ben Crump already know who the other person is, right? And I'm scared for you. Whichever one of you white boys it is, I'm scared for you. But see, he's the attorney for Nolan's parents. So he's not going to disclose. This how good of a lawyer he is. We just let that shit breeze past our ears. He's not going to disclose that he even knows who it is. He's only disclosing that he's starting an investigation. And the way he's talking around shit, you guys believe that he's just starting the investigation. But if you listen to the smaller things that he's saying within the bigger things, like, but they keep telling, watch this. This the big shit. This the shit that's blowing up in your face that you're paying attention to. They keep telling the parents that it's no harm foul or there's been no foul play, right? But you have statements where students say that there was an altercation, right? And it sounds like he's ranting because he's carrying it on so fast, but he just made you not notice one thing. He said, but you have statements, which means he's already read the whole case. Every piece of evidence that they have, he's already done that. He's already read over it. He's already in the case. But he's not letting us know the names because he don't want them to flee. See, they rich. One of them moms is a judge. She'll send them over there to France so quick, goddammit, and say, oh, he's over there on a internship with such a... She'll send them right where she know the feds ain't got jurisdiction, so he can be free. No. See, Ben Crump is smarter than that. And I might have just leaked that shit. Sorry if I did, Ben Crump. But I'm just an intelligent guy. Okay, so let's get back into it. Let's just keep on listening, y'all. He breaking it down. Now, he's saying that they talking about Nolan and somebody else or another kid, or he gonna say it like that. Right? That's going to make us feel like he don't know who it is. But he said he read the statements. So, of course, he know who it is because the kid said who it was in the statement. But he's not telling that he know. He's playing it like he haven't even read the case, but he had to because he read the statements, because he's telling us that they had the statements. You heard? And this stuff that he's already enclosed to the parents. Right? You got to be smart about it. Analyze it. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. No, Ron. It's some black men that's guilty. God damn it. It's some black people that's guilty. Like Javeayah Harris' parents. 4-year-old Javeayah Harris. Her parents killed her. Then lied to the police. Then lied over an interview on the news station. A month after they had killed her, they reported her missing. But I do believe if anything has been mishandled in a case with a cop and Ben Crump, the black guy, the black attorney, and he's on it, he's going to defund the shit out of their police department. He's going to defund the shit. Everybody going to get paid. They wounds may not be healed, but they gonna be expensive, goddammit. You hear me? You hear me, Ron? They wounds may not be healed, but they gonna be some expensive wounds. If anything was done wrong by a police department and being Crump on it, and it has something to do with black people, it's over with for them. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's just the facts, man.
You had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another on the boat. So that's an issue. And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so they are conflicting. She's saying he went and...
So if Nolan told you that he was going to stay with her, then we know that Nolan didn't leave his phone with you. So when he came back from her with his phone, what happened in between y'all not seeing where the fuck he went on that boat to y'all taking his phone to his mom saying, we don't know where Nolan is. We just don't know. We haven't seen him. We thought he might have caught a ride. Here's his phone. Mom Deuce, please don't be mad at me. Oh no, Nick, she pissed. Somebody killed her baby. And it wasn't the seaweed. It wasn't the water. It wasn't a shark. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have chunks taken out of him, like sharks and killer whales was eating off his ass. Come on, man. We know what did this. Yeah. Yes, sir. We do.
Got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is dead.
The Wells.
And all we know now is Nolan is dead. Yeah, Ben Crump finna he finna turn through the door of the courtroom with this one.
Family, how are Nolan's parents, how are they coping in this moment?
Lindsay, they are in disbelief. They are in disbelief. You know, Nolan was to report back on Monday after the 4th of July to his college. That's when fall practice started. He did phenomenal. He was looking forward to getting an NIL deal with Division I football. He had everything.
He had an NIL deal with Division I football. Come on, man. When he was returning back, he was going to the fall practice. This shit crazy, bro.
Going for himself, and his family just can't believe that he's gone. His mother, Christina, is in constant depression, but my baby is gone. His father's trying to be strong, but obviously he's trying to explain to Nolan's younger brothers and sisters, what happened, Daddy? What happened?
Can you clarify for us what was going on with his cell phone?
Yeah, and that's something that's really troubling to his family as well. You know, the guys on the boat, they said Nolan stayed, but they took his cell phone. That's not adding up to them. The fact that then when the
Nolan's not with them, but they took his cell phone. It wasn't adding up to me. It wasn't adding up to my chat analysts. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel for those of you coming in. Listen to what else he got to say. Watch this, though.
Family gets the cell phone back, Lindsay. They're saying they are trying to understand why they're deleted messages. And so it's very concerning to them.
And we know that Nolan was a great athlete.
They get the phone back. They try and figure out why are there deleted messages. Why are there deleted messages? And what are the deleted messages that y'all invited him on the boat? I'm just trying to figure out what are they? Which deleted messages are they? Because Ben not gonna let us know even though he knows. Right? Which messages are they? This shit crazy. And you probably use this fingerprint before you dump this body to delete any trace that you was mad with him. But it's all assumptions and analytics, and boy, we just trying to analyze it the best way we know how. Yes, sir. Thank you, Lala.
Fleet on the football field. Do we have any sense of how comfortable he was around water and boats?
You know, his father said he was an elite athlete, that he prided himself on his physical prowess. He said that his son could swim, and so they're just not accepting.
So that means he the one who jumps off the boat into the ocean. Yeah. He hit the water. Oh, they make the girls go crazy. They finna jump off the boat with his ass. You heard me? They jumping off the boat with his ass. Guess what? One of the boyfriends or one of the friends, he jealous as hell. He's standing up there watching. Nolan ain't looked this way. He just watching how they falling on the, oh, Nolan, you're so fucking brave. Nolan like, oh, well, you know, my dad was brave for my mom. You know what I'm saying? They like, damn, Nolan got the juice. Them boys was mad at that. That's what I believe.
That Nolan drowned accidentally.
Beyond the headlines, have the Wells family said how they would like Nolan to be remembered?
Yeah, everybody. Not only his parents, but the whole community, his teachers, his coaches, the people at his college. They're saying he was just a great guy. Always trying to be supportive, be encouraging, wanted to make the world a better place. His mother talked about his smile, and she's like, she doesn't know when she's ever going to smile again.
Damn.
Mr. Crump, we thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And there you have it. I told y'all this shit was strange. This shit wasn't. Man, I wasn't playing with y'all there when I told y'all about that.
Carmelo Anthony's new team of high-powered lawyers are going score.
Okay, so now we got True Crime. True Crime also did the segment on Carmelo Anthony and his pro bono team of 6 of the top finest civil rights NCAP fucking Texas Wrongful Conviction Association. All of these people are a part of this what's his name? Ben. He's the NAACP president, right? So you gotta respect it. These folks then filed a 200-page appeal on why this was a wrongful conviction. They're not just trying to get it overturned. They're trying to get the guilty plea thrown out 100% altogether. And it's possible they got 200 pages worth wrongful, deceitful, behind the scenes type ass shit from a $400,000 retained lawyer. Boy, if I got that much of $700,000 off of GoFundMe, I'ma be a lawyer too for a motherfucker. Yeah, pay me $400,000. I'm your lawyer for sure. I'm going to school for it and everything out there for $100,000. I'm finna get my master's in this shit. Okay, but here we go. True crime segment on this Karmelo Anthony shit, and it's gonna break down what the lawyers got, what they done said, what these affidavits say, and we finna analyze this shit for what it is.
Scorched earth on the judge who oversaw the team's trial that ended with him being convicted of murdering fellow athlete Austin Metcalf at a track meet.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
We have the hundreds of pages of documents claiming the judge overseeing the trial made some major errors. Now, Anthony's team is calling for the guilty verdict to be thrown out entirely. We will also talk about an alleged off-the-record deal that Anthony's defense team made with prosecutors that his new lawyers say set the now convicted teen killer up for failure. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. One of the big questions coming out of the trial of Karmelo Anthony was, why didn't he testify? It is rare for a defendant in a case like that, a self-defense case, to not take the stand in their own defense and tell their side of the story. Now, Karmelo Anthony's new lawyers are shedding some light on what allegedly happened behind closed doors during the trial. It is all part of the roughly 200 pages they filed, and they make some shocking claims as they are trying to get Anthony a new trial. Here are the dozens of pages filed in court in Texas by Anthony's new legal defense team. Last month, the Stand with Karmelo Coalition announced 6 big-name Texas lawyers would be taking a fresh look at the case and trial that ended in a guilty verdict. Now, I will say you can read through these documents word for word, page for page for yourself on our Law and Crime Plus app. Just go to the Karmelo Anthony case file. But let's walk through what these documents tell us, including what the new team is claiming the judge did after the trial that shows, they say, Karmelo didn't get a fair shake. Now, the on Roach, and he did not allow cameras in the courtroom or audio recording for the trial.
That's because he didn't want nobody to see him getting over on Karmelo. He didn't want nobody to witness how they were finna take this young boy's life. By the time everybody witnessed, it was already done.
Testimony lasted 4 days, and this trial went at what many have considered a pretty brisk pace, which is part of Anthony's appeal. Now, I'm going to run through what happened in this case very briefly.
Well, I'm not alleged. Okay.
This is the body cam video from one of the first officers who confronted Karmelo Anthony after Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed. Anthony stabbed the fellow track star during a high school track meet in April of last year outside Dallas in Frisco, Texas. Now, here is the very blurry video of the incident. It was shot from the surveillance camera on the top of the football stadium. It shows some commotion, shows a potential shove from Austin Metcalf, but the moment in question, the stabbing of Austin Metcalf, is something you really cannot see. But this surveillance video was big evidence at the trial. Anthony was reportedly under Metcalf's team's tent. Metcalf wanted Anthony to leave. Anthony did not leave, and then Metcalf shoved Anthony, and in that moment, Anthony pulled a knife out of his backpack and fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf once in the chest. The jury took roughly 3 hours after hearing testimony to reach a guilty verdict. In the days after the verdict, Karmelo Anthony filed a notice that he would be appealing the verdict, and these filings appear to be the first step in that process. Now, there were 2 documents that were filed. One is calling for a new trial. The other calls for the judge who oversaw the trial to be recused from any future proceedings on this case. So I want to start with why this team believes that Karmelo's guilty verdict should be tossed. Anthony's lawyers are arguing that his Sixth Amendment right to a public trial was violated. They say that this case received national attention, and yet the proceedings, they argue, were kept out of public view. Audio and video recordings were not allowed. We couldn't live stream it. We were only getting reports from a small number of credentialed media members inside the courtroom, and we were able to have one of those reporters, Cody Thomas from Court TV. But as far as the public, we did see lines out the door throughout this trial, but for the public, there were roughly only 24 seats in the courtroom. Dozens of people lining up outside. There was an overflow room, the appeals attorneys argue, but they say that room was eliminated. Now, in the document, Anthony's team also has anecdotes from people who traveled from places like North Carolina and Arizona in hopes of witnessing this trial, but they say they weren't allowed in. Now, the decision not to allow cameras, live streaming, and audio recording, that was made by the judge. And this is what that judge said in an interview with WFAA television after the verdict.
I'm doing this interview with you to make sure that people understand how the system works. And if they really wanted to, and I mean this seriously, if they wanted to, they could have stood in line with everybody else.
We're going to talk more in just a moment about the issues that the Anthony team now has with Judge John Roach and what he had to say in that interview. A big part of this trial also was the fact that Karmelo Anthony didn't testify. Many people have wondered what went into that decision. If he was so scared for his life, why not tell the story on the stand? According to Anthony's new team, a lot of it had to do with what they say was an off-the-record understanding between the defense and prosecution. So this is what it says. Anthony's appeals team said in May of this year, the lead prosecutor on the case reached out to the defense and proposed they, quote, try the case clean. And that would mean they would make this case only about what happened under the tent instead of offering character or reputation evidence. Now that deal was off the record. And they say the reason for that was so the media wouldn't get about it because it's probably something we would see in court filings or through local media reports. Now, Anthony's team says that his defense was then limited under that deal at every stage of the trial. They say the defense could have presented statements that trial witnesses made to police, like saying that Austin Metcalf was, quote, kind of like the aggressive guy on the team. They say that there's a student who told police that Austin would get, quote, triggered. And they also say that there's a witness.
I told y'all all this shit about Austin's behavior. Suspensions and shit in school, they finna pull all this shit and compare it to Karmelo. All this shit about Austin being the aggressor and then nobody want to speak up. Some folks spoke up, but they was getting ready to bury this shit. The detectives. Yep. Yeah, that shit racist as hell. We got freedom of speech.
Who told police that Austin and his twin brother Hunter refused to be disrespected. They also say under this off-the-record agreement, the defense didn't bring any expert witnesses who could have talked about how Karmelo Anthony's epilepsy could have impacted his perception of threat, or how the fact that he has an adolescent brain, he was only 18 years old when all of this happened, how...
Wow. Karmelo Anthony has epilepsy. They never told us that. He has the brain of a child. He was 17 when this shit happened. I mean, he looked innocent like that, though. That's why I was always saying he an innocent, good ass child. He really is. Yeah, these lawyers ain't finna play, y'all. Look, y'all. But we got part 4 coming tomorrow. Yeah. We gonna finish this because we got a long way to go. I mean, this is extensive about everything that they put in this damn thing. And this was part of the deal that Karmelo Anthony's defense made with the judge and the DA not to bring this shit up, not to call for expert witnesses. Meaning all his witnesses that was experts to this shit, don't call for him. No, don't call for him. Yeah, we finna bam this nigga. That's how they did it. Yeah, it's an ugly shame. It's an ugly shame, la. Look, y'all, but y'all know what this is. This is Blocstarr Imis Analytics. What are we? We are Blocstarr Analysts. What did we just do? We just analyzed the fuck out of this shit. Listen, man, I love you, chat. And thank you, chat. Don't forget to like the video. Comment down below. And always, never forget to subscribe to the channel, right? Once you subscribe to the channel, click that little bell and then click all so you can get all the notifications every time I go live, every time I make a post. I thank y'all. Listen, man, you've been chilling with yours truly. It's Blocstarr Imis, all the way from Memphis. Don't you forget me. I love y'all, chat.